Now, if you've been here for the last few videos, it has been very confusing. This video is not as confusing. Actually, it's not confusing at all. And it's going to clear a lot of things up because now we have a direction to go into the conclusion of this whole little arc. So, like I said, just stick with me. Support the comic book entry by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SEO Comics. We continue our coverage of Justice League Unlimited, number 7. Our story starts off at the Watchtower, where we have the old school Legion of Doom, and they're blasting any hero that they see with their Gorilla Grodd time gun to send them wherever. The reason why I say wherever, because it's random. Like, they don't even know where they're sending them in time. They're just sending them. Now, Mr. Terrific should have ran his butt out of there, but instead, he goes after Scarecrow, and Scarecrow blasts him and Atom. And Martian Manhunter and Supergirl also get blasted by the Joker and Lex Luthor. They clear out the Watchtower. They leave only one superhero left, and that's Elongated Man. So Grodd's like, I promised them one guy to torture, and I guess you're the one that's up. But Elongated Man is using his powers of stretching, and it's going to go grab something. So like I said, when I mean random, it was random. Firestorm looks like he's in the Jurassic period. Nightwing and Beast Boy is somewhere cold and desolate, and you got the Flash and Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, somewhere in the Wild West. So Elongated Man grabs a gun and feels like he got the drop on Grodd, and Luthor just blasts his gun right out of his hand. So Joker's like, hey, remember your promise? You said we get to play with this one. And Grodd's like, I did, so have fun. And Sinestro starts using his ring on him. So Luthor's like, it's funny we haven't seen Batman or Superman. And Grodd's like, we'll find them in due time. So Sinestro, Scarecrow, Joker, Manta, you guys split up and go this way. And the rest of you guys follow me, we'll go that way. So then we cut to Arabia, 14,000 BCE, where we see Superman bounce off whatever force field that the Legion of Doom put up to keep our heroes right where they're at. And Superman goes, man, they thought of everything. So then we cut to 19,642 CE at the Indian Ocean, where we have Stargirl and Shazam fighting some futuristic, like, they look like tigers and they look like lions. Dude, I don't know what they are, but they're evolved creatures. So then we cut to Tombstone, Arizona, 1872 CE, where the Flash and Green Arrow are pretty much at the OK Corral fighting cowboys. I'm not gonna lie, if I was Green Arrow, as soon as I shoot one cowboy, I'd be like, I'll be your Huckleberry. So then we cut to Jupiter. Yeah, I said Jupiter. 2212 CE, where you got Mr. Terrific, the Atom, Supergirl, and Martian Manhunter, who's getting punched by the Ultra Multi-Alien. And the only reason why I know that is because I looked the dude up. Beast Boy and Nightwing are actually on Earth at the end of time. And Beast Boy is doing horrible. I'm thinking to myself like, dude, you were just a polar bear. Like, you should be doing better than Nightwing is. And Nightwing's sitting there telling you to hang on. So then we cut to Western Europe, 400,000 BCE, where Green Lantern is protecting the Thunderer from some cavemen. Problem is that the Green Lantern's ring is about to run out of power, and they're gonna have to fight these Neanderthals hand to hand. And if you know anything about Neanderthals, they were huge. So yeah, that's not gonna be a winning fight. But then all of a sudden, Hal hears somebody trying to talk to him. And then we cut back to the Watchtower, where we have Captain Cold, Gorilla Grodd, Luthor, Pythonus, and Bizarro. They're making their way through it when all of a sudden Bizarro's arm just falls from the sky, and Bizarro catches it and is like, am that not? This makes lots of sense, which means it makes no sense. And then Grodd is kind of confused for a second, but then he seems like he understands what's going on, and he's like, leave it, Bizarro, just walk this way. And then they walk into the rift that Darkseid made all the way back in the All-In issue special. So then Bizarro does a dumb thing and he reaches into the rift that's filled with all this Darkseid energy, and that's how he lost his arm, which is saying something because Bizarro, you know he's stupid, he's still just as powerful as Superman. So whatever his energy is can hurt Superman. So then the others show up and they show up about Scarecrow, because if you remember back in the last video, that Scarecrow got done in by Superman, which means the things that happened in the last video happened after what happened at the Watchtower at the beginning of this video. Yeah, not confusing at all. So Grodd has a fragment of Apocalypse, which is Darkseid's world, and he's like, this is the only thing that can siphon the energy from the rift, and once we do that, then we become gods. And Luthor goes, gods, huh? Ultimate power split 8 ways? Interesting. And then we cut to England, 6th century CE, where we have Cyborg, Black Lightning, Wonder Woman, and Plastic Man, and they hear the same thing that Hal Jordan was hearing. Somebody was trying to talk to him. And then we find out that it's Airwave. Now, if you're wondering, didn't he get blasted somewhere? I thought he got blasted somewhere too, but because his power is the same kind of energy that's powering those guns, I guess when he got blasted, he just got scattered through the time stream. So he's not anywhere in particular, he's just everywhere at any time, I guess you could say, all at once. I was going to finish it. And before you big brains come at me, I have stated multiple times that I don't know what the hell's going on. So if you do and you feel like you could do a better job of explaining it, fire your phones and have at it. So then Adam is with Martian Manhunter, and he kind of breaks down the same thing I just said, that he is made of the same energy that they're using for the guns. So technically they weaponize Airwave. And since Airwave's still alive, he can use all of his energy. And since he's also connected to every last superhero that got pushed through time, then he's the way that they can get back to, I guess, the time period where the Legion of Doom is. Because you can't say present time, because who knows what present time is anymore. So back at the Watchtower, what's going down is what you thought was going to go down. The Legion of Doom is fighting each other to get the rock so that they can get the ultimate power. Luthor looks like he won the fight and he's holding the rock when all of a sudden it explodes in his face, and Grodd's like, you fell for it. The rock wasn't really anything. I just needed you guys to start fighting each other and take each other out just to make this part easier. The ultimate power is always going to be mine because I'm the only one that can access it. So give my regards to Two-Face. He starts pulling in the dark side energy. Airwave is trying to use his power to hopefully bring people back. He's in England, and then Cyborg tries to help him out by blasting him to give him more of a power boost. Then everybody starts to blast Airwave to give him more of a power boost. All this is happening at the same time. Grodd and Airwave. When all of a sudden at the end, Grodd pulls in the energy and he looks gruesomest. Like he got his big old dark side symbol in the middle of his forehead. His head got bigger than what it normally is. And he's like, the world is mine. All of a sudden all you hear is, not just yet. When Airwave shows up with the Justice League, but it's not your typical Justice League. Like you got the Ultra Multi-Alien, which we already saw him. We have Abin Sur Green Lantern, and he doesn't look like Majin Buu. My absolute Green Lantern fans will get that. You got Jonah Hex. You got Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis. You got Aquaman that's missing the hand and it's got the spear because he had to cut off his hand to save his son. You guys remember that story? I remember that story. You got the Batman who got clapped by Darkseid and was going through the time stream to try to get back to the present time. And then you got Jason Todd. Robin, not Red Hood, as Robin. See? Less confusing. Still confusing, but less confusing. Only got to take one etc. and not two.